I don't like it when Jews are in the headlines for notorious reasons. Weinstein took it out.
Larry David hosted NBC's Saturday Night Live this weekend for the second time. Yes, he did resurrect his Bernie Sanders impression, and the show took on many of the week's political headlines, as well as sexual harassment and assault allegations against Harvey Weinstein. The disgraced producer was mentioned by Alec Baldwin as President Donald Trump in the cold open, and again by David during a controversial monologue. Eric and Donald Trump Jr. stopped by Weekend Update, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders belted out some Demi Lovato, but we begin with a cold open as we take a look at the must-see moments from this week's SNL. Baldwin Trump kicked things off at the apartment of Paul Manafort, played by Alex Moffat, saying, "It's a shame you're going to prison because I was about to give you a huge tax break." He was referring to news last week that Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election resulted in indictments for Trump's former campaign chairman on felony charges of conspiracy against the US and other counts. Baldwin, as Trump, also joked that Manafort would need a shiv because after the stuff I've said about certain ethnic groups, they're really going to go to town on you in prison. The two ended up in the shower together because the president wanted to make sure Manafort wasn't wearing a wire. And that's where Baldwin dropped this line.
What an idiot that Harvey Weinstein is. He could have gotten away with all of it if only he'd gotten himself elected president. Body wash.
In response to the Hollywood sexual abuse scandal, in which several big names, including Weinstein, Dustin Hoffman, Brett Ratner, Kevin Spacey, and others, have been accused of sexual harassment and, in some cases, assault and rape, David joked in his opening monologue, "A lot of sexual harassment stuff in the news, and I couldn't help but notice a very disturbing pattern emerging."
Is that many of the predators, not all, but many, are Jews.
I know I consistently strive to be a good Jewish representative, David added, before saying that he sometimes wonders if, had he been alive during Hitler's time, he would have been compelled to date women if he were in a concentration camp. He imagined the scene like this.
There are no good opening lines in a concentration camp. How's it going? They treating you okay?
Several viewers were not amused. One tweeted, "Just when you thought Larry David's SNL monologue couldn't get worse, he joked about seducing women in concentration camps. Wow. Hashtag he bombed." Another viewer agreed, saying, "Larry David bombing in opening monologue. Who the hell at SNL thought this was going to be funny?" After the monologue, David brought back his Bernie Sanders impression for a Price is Right celebrity contestant skit that also featured Baldwin as Tony Bennett and a surprise appearance from Liam Hemsworth, who showed up alongside his fiancée and the evening's musical guest Miley Cyrus. As he was welcomed to the show, David, as Sanders, said, "Thank you, it's good to be here. I just want to say this show is a travesty, consumerism disguised as entertainment." He continued, offering this game plan.
We're gonna win this thing the Bernie way, which means if I lose, I'll bring everyone else down with me.
Bernie's back!
The show continued to get political with a digital short mocking Sarah Huckabee Sanders' recent press conference where she explained Trump's newest tax plan with an elaborate metaphor involving journalists drinking beer in a bar. Aidy Bryant as Huckabee Sanders launched into Demi Lovato's hit song Confident as she avoided answering reporters' questions.
What's wrong with being confident?
And finally, Eric Trump, played by Moffat, and Donald Trump Jr., portrayed by Mikey Day, dropped by the Weekend Update desk to defend their father over the Mueller investigation. Eric spent the segment mostly trying to mimic his brother's mannerisms before offering up this very helpful outburst.
Crooked Hillary and company tried to rig the election in her favor.
Just like Dad.
All right.
Head to THR.com to watch the complete segments from this week's Saturday Night Live. But first, what were your most memorable moments of the night? And what did you think of Larry David's hosting job and his controversial monologue? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Lindsay Rodriguez.